All right, Nick, let's talk about the Los Angeles Chargers. This team that is getting hot at exactly the right time. They've strung off 4 straight wins here. They've won 5 out of their last 6, so they look really, really strong coming into the last game of the season. This is an important game this season, and it's kind of going to help them settle in to their playoff run here. And we have a story about that here in just a moment, Nick. But Chargers fan, I got to know, last game of the season against the Denver Broncos. I want to know, what do you think the final score of this game against the Broncos is going to be? Let us know in the comments below. And while you're there, just click the subscribe button. It really helps us out in growing our channel. But Nick, before we get there, I just have one last word. Make sure to stay tuned to the end of this video to hear a special deal from our new partner, Mint Mobile. That is exciting. But Nick, what is the Charger story?
Yeah, so one of the things with the Chargers 4 weeks ago, coming off their last defeat at the hands of the Las Vegas Raiders, right? The mood was, look, just find a way to get in the playoffs. Maybe we can sneak into the playoffs. Maybe we can just get some guys healthy and win a few games here down the stretch. Now, like you said, they've won 4 in a row. And I first noticed this. This was a report to Sports Illustrated that the Chargers are actually this close, Mize, to locking up the number 5 seed, the number 1 wild card in the AFC. Either Baltimore has to lose to Cincinnati, or the Los Angeles Chargers have to defeat Denver Broncos. And thanks to ESPN's matchup predictor and a little bit of Providence stats math I did myself, the Los Angeles Chargers have about a 94.5% roughly chance of being the 5 seed. So it's obviously outstanding odds for being the 5 seed for a team that just a few weeks ago thought they're going to be potentially outside the playoffs looking in. Mize, why is that big? Because everyone knows the number 4 seed in the AFC this year is going to be won by the winner of the AFC South, which has been a very, just frankly, I'm going to say it, mediocre division. You're either going to have the beat up Tennessee Titans, probably rolling with Josh Dobbs, a very inexperienced quarterback, winning that division, or you're going to have the Jacksonville Jaguars under Trevor Lawrence, who Trevor Lawrence looks good, but that defense does not look good. They're obviously a very young team, not a whole lot of playoff experience on their side as well. So right now, the Los Angeles Chargers, on the back of 4 straight wins, playing their best football of the season, getting everybody healthy, they look like to be in prime position to get the best possible matchup, frankly, of any wild card round team, either in the AFC or NFC, going into the playoffs, if they can just take care of business against Broncos or get a little help by the Cincinnati Bengals. Miles, what do you think of the chance for the Chargers to make a big playoff run if they can lock up this 5 seed and get, a very favorable first round matchup?
Nick, I like it, and I think locking up the 5 seed will be big. And I want to go over just kind of the matchup between both teams here, Nick. I think that the Jaguars are probably the more likely team to come out of that game. If I had to bet any money on it, I would
Me
bet
too.
the Jaguars. But here's what I want to say, Nick. The Jaguars have been playing well, but as you said, the defense isn't that great, Nick, and also their offensive line isn't necessarily that good. Per PFF, their highest graded player is about a 60 on the O line. The lowest graded guy being their center, Fortner, is a 50. So mediocre offensive line, which is big news for the newly healthy Chargers pass rush and Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, and I even throw Derwin James in there because he's a pretty viable pass rusher when he gets going. I like that matchup there. I like now that the Chargers have all of their receivers healthy. Jacksonville's kind of weak in the secondary as well. I
Oh,
think their
100%.
biggest strength is their pass rush and their linebackers. So I think that is a strong point for Jacksonville, but that doesn't really match up against the strong points of the Chargers as well. So there's a bit of a mismatch there. Chargers versus Jaguars. And I think offensively as well, uh, you know, uh, the Jaguars kind of, they like to throw it. They like to run the ball with Etienne. But that's kind of the Chargers' strong suit. Khalil Mack sets the edge very, very well. So I just think overall, this is a good matchup for the Chargers if they're able to get the Jaguars.
Yeah, 100%. The thing you always want to play in the first round, you always want to get a team with an inexperienced quarterback if your quarterback's inexperienced, right? You never want to have your, not rookie, but playoff rookie, which Herbert would be his first playoff appearance, to go up against, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, someone like even Joe Burrow, a guy who's been in a lot of playoff games where, they know the ebbs and flow in a playoff game, because that's kind of an unfair advantage. The Chargers, if they get the Jaguars, which I agree with you, I think that's the most likely opportunity. It's a wash there because you have Trevor Lawrence and Herbert in the first playoff game. I think the Chargers have the better roster, and I agree with you. The fact that the Jacksonville would not have an experienced quarterback, advantage LA, they win that game. And now that Herbert would have a playoff game under his belt, they could then go into a Cincinnati, a Buffalo, a Kansas City, or wherever they would play next. And that disparity between the quarterback experience in terms of playoff experience would not be nearly as great, because Herbert, of course, would be on his have one game under his belt. He'd have a little more mojo to roll with there. And again, that gives all the credit, just circling all the way back to going into a game against the Miami Dolphins after being 6-6 and handling business, getting a big win, and then rolling the rest of the way, winning 3 more after that, and getting in this position. Last year, they didn't do enough, right? They had to go down to the wire against the Raiders the last game of the regular season. Of course, it didn't work out for them. Because they handled business beforehand this year, they are now in position to get a favorable matchup for the wild card round, which is going to benefit them. It's going to be great for Justin Herbert to get a playoff experience and hopefully a playoff win. I think he'll get it. And who knows what could happen after that. Because like you said, Miles, this team is built with the pass rushers they have to make a deep playoff push. Playoff season is here, and we all know that the only thing that matters this time of year is being clutch. And nothing is more clutch than having a wireless carrier built on the nation's largest 5G network. The only carrier with that title is, of course, Mint Mobile, who we're partnering with for today's video.
Mint Mobile offers premium wireless for low as $15 a month, and you don't have to sacrifice any coverage, speed, or data. They're built on the nation's largest 5G network. They keep the cost low because they sell direct to you online. They cut out retail stores and salespeople. Why should you pay more than you have to for the access to the same network?
Use our link. You can find it in the description below to get premium wireless starting at $15 a month. That link is mintmobile.com/Saturday. Again, find that link in the description below and stop paying more than you need to on your wireless bill. And guess what? Start saving big with Mint Mobile.